I got to say that LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant? What? Put me in a grave first.
But I'm angry. I've known Darvin Ham for a long time. And you're right. He's a great guy. And he's a pretty damn good coach. Because he took a team that had done nothing the year before and missed the playoffs. And last year they got to the conference finals with him. And everybody had praise for him, including LeBron and Anthony Davis. And now all of a sudden I'm talking specifically to the two of them now. They blame him. Their public comments are inadequate. Let me just say this. If you want to be the GOAT, you want to tell everybody you're the GOAT, you're the greatest player of all time, you want to have it on podcasts, you want to have it, then take accountability like one. Do that.
On to your boy, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce has come up with his personal all-time top 5 NBA players. I'm going to read it to you. He's got Michael Jordan. He's got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's got Bill Russell. He's got Magic Johnson. And he's got Kobe Bryant. He doesn't have LeBron James. Pierce says LeBron James never did anything to build an organization by himself, and his personal criteria is that you have to either build an organization or continue a tradition. Can you, Michael Wilbon, and I know you like Paul Pierce, can you endorse Paul Pierce's top 5?
I can understand it. I'm not going to argue with Paul Pierce's top 5. Now, you got to start with understanding that Paul Pierce in the 2000s, Tony, fierce rivalry with LeBron James, wherever he was. Cleveland, Miami. So it was a big-time rivalry. So they're rivals, and they never were friends that I know of. And, I know a little bit about this. But, Tone, you can't tell me that I couldn't put together a top 5 and put Bird or Kobe on it, Kobe or Bird on it, and not have LeBron. Well, LeBron is officially back with the Lakers. Ho-hum. And yet, they're not going to win. This means nothing to winning. It doesn't, Tony. Because let me go to the glasses, as you would say. Anthony Davis and LeBron played 147 of 164 possible games last year. They played in 90% of the Lakers' games. They were second and third team All-NBA. They played at a high level 90% of the time, and they finished where? They barely avoided a play-in.
Sided with Fry, a former teammate, saying, quote, Channing Frye said it the other day. It's unfortunate, but why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis bleep on everybody, unquote. Wilbon, do you agree with LeBron?
Mostly no, but there's a lot of layers here, and there's some stuff I might agree with him. And I watched Channing Frye have this rant, and it was insightful. And I disagree with Channing, who I know and like tremendously. And if I was sitting with Channing and or LeBron, I would say, hold on for a second. First of all, we live in a world now in which those guys, and particularly LeBron, they know how to use and manipulate social media, but it goes both ways. It cuts both ways. And that's where a great part of the negativity is. All right? So you engage in this. We live in a world that is largely negative, having nothing to do with sports. That's the world we live in, and you live in it. And in LeBron's case, though, when you've been praised justifiably, you've earned the praise and the hundreds of millions of dollars that have started since you were 8 years old. When you put a crown on your head, do you actually believe that the rest of us are just in your kingdom to serve you? Sorry, there's criticism that comes with that. There's comparison that comes with that. I don't know that LeBron feels this way because I haven't asked him. I'd like to ask him. Is he referring to the constant comparisons of Michael Jordan? Because if he doesn't like that, too damn bad. The comparison, the constant attention, that's how you get all that money. It doesn't come from fannies and seats. Yeah. It comes from attention and eyeballs and viewership and listenership and all of that, Tony. And I just wonder, really, do you think that we're supposed to just be there in public relations terms? We're not on your payroll. We're not there just to praise you. He's going to test his ankle right now.
No push. He was looking for the foul.
No push.
He was looking for the foul. He didn't get that. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, goodness.
That's
some George Gervin right there.
Yeah. Finger roll.
Finger roll from like 7 feet out.
He is 7 feet tall, though, with that wingspan. Look at that. Oh, nice play. I don't blame Wes Matthews for arguing that call. I don't blame him. LeBron James used the body, pushed it on him.
Most assists. Here we go.
Let's do a little history right here. Most assists in NBA history. Look at that. LeBron James has now tied Irvin Magic Johnson.
But see, you know what, Stephen A., it's so
8 assists
misleading.
tonight.
It's so
Wow.
misleading. LeBron's greatness doesn't
said
need
it's misleading?
statistical measure.
You said it's misleading?
Yes, because if anybody thinks that number, look at that three. from
Anthony Davis with the three.
If anybody thinks
Got
that
34
number
now.
means that LeBron James is as great a passer
Hold it.
as Irvin Johnson,
No, of course
they
not.
would be mistaken.
That's true, but LeBron did just pass them numbers-wise
But
with
what
that
does that
assist
mean?
to Anthony
But
Davis.
what does that mean?
Well, it does mean that the man does know how to pass.
We know
He may not know how to pass like the man
we
Irvin Magic
don't
Johnson,
need
but he knows how to
numbers to
pass.
tell us that.
Okay.
Maybe these two generations of youngsters need numbers to tell
That's
them
true.
that.
That's true.
We know LeBron's a great passer. He ain't the passer Irvin Johnson was.
But you know the youngsters need to know.
Well, they better learn. Watch YouTube.
You can't be upset.
They better
having
believe.
a team.
Yeah, I am.
You can't be upset having
I'm
two
upset
holidays
when they-
hopping around.
Like, I think that the basketball world will pay greater attention to this than if he had this same success in the Western Conference Finals against the Suns or Mavericks or somebody else. He's playing against LeBron. We are locked in. We are looking at the player of consequence, most consequence over the last 10 years in the NBA, 15 years in the NBA. What does it mean if Jokic eclipses him, even at 38? Because, right, I mean, it doesn't matter how old LeBron is.
Yeah.
If Jokic gets the best of LeBron, it's a check mark forever and ever. Is it not? Am I overreacting?
No,
to this?
you're exactly today with LeBron James becoming the first NBA player to exceed the 50,000 points barrier. Counting regular season and playoff games, LeBron is now at 50,033 after scoring 34 last night in the Lakers' win over New Orleans. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is second all-time in scoring, but it's a distant second, 44,149. The closest active player is Kevin Durant. He's about 15,000 points behind LeBron. Wilbon, what does this milestone mean to you?
Not a damn thing. Nothing.
Really?
It's numbers.
Okay.
I'm not part of the two generations that need numbers to appreciate or evaluate everything. I don't need to wake up and look at the box score and see that somebody had 25, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5 to declare it a good night.
This is who David Falk is. He's a provocateur on his best day. Okay, he's Michael Jordan's longtime agent. He is that. I'm a neighbor of David Falk and have known him for 45 years. Okay? I've had millions of basketball-related conversations with David Falk. No one should be surprised that David Falk is going out there with the MJ flag. Because if you think that, stop. Just get out of the sports talking about business and go to something else. Now, I hate the conversation because it requires you to say something negative about someone who's truly great and all-time great to make your point. And that's the most tiresome thing about the GOAT conversation. But let me just say this. I'm not going to sit here and say that LeBron James has to be considered better than Magic Johnson. That's garbage. I'm not going to say LeBron James has to be considered better than Bill Russell. That's garbage. I'm not going to say LeBron James has to be considered better than Kobe Bryant. That's garbage. LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time in all team sports. I'm sorry, if that's not good enough, turn the page. Get over yourself. So in other words, I'm going to proclaim and support and wave the LeBron James flag for his greatness. But if I say he's less than number 2, that's not good enough for you, to hell with you. And I'm not saying that in support of David Falk. I'm saying that as somebody who has watched basketball and lived with basketball my whole life. I got to say that LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. What? Put me in a grave.
You guys don't know anything about Michael Wilbon. He's an old school guy. He's been covering the NBA 30, 40 years. So he got popular when Michael got popular. Now, I'm not saying that to say that there's any bias here. But I say that to say that Michael Wilbon came up in the time when the NBA was the NBA. During the 90s golden era of the NBA, right? The days that we all look back to and smile. The days that we wish we could have again, that we've never had, right? The most competition, best superstars, the most exciting plays in our history of the NBA. That's when Michael Wilbon came up. So when Michael Wilbon hears about LeBron James doing something, these things, these new age things that LeBron does, through his agent, through his social media, self-proclaiming himself this or that, the GOAT or #1 of all time. When he sees these type of things, it does something to him, and it's not anything good. So that's the reason why he come out of the woodworks. All right, we don't see him regularly. At least I don't see him regularly. I know he doesn't work on First Take. He doesn't work on Get Up regularly. But whenever I see a big controversy, involving like the GOAT talk, involving LeBron, something serious, I always see Michael Wilbon put together a little segment where they turn to Michael Wilbon to ask him what's going on. And he always will give you the truth or his opinion. And it's always cold and unfiltered when it comes to LeBron, all right, Rich Paul, and that Clutch Sports team. Right, so that explains a lot of this. And at the end of the day, I think he just wants the truth to be out there, and none of this phony business that we got going on. So that's why I like Michael Wilbon. I like when he comes and he gives his take, because it's going to be real. And he's not somebody who's bought, not somebody who's paid for. Just want to show you guys those clips of Michael giving that business to LeBron. And that's about it. So until next time.